Hey viewers, my name's Cara. You're watching my personal channel, CuteWitch772. I am here today in my yard bringing you some summer fashion looks. I don't think I have ever worn a baseball cap in a video on this channel, or any video, but summertime. And it's this, or the big huge floppy brim hat that I love, or my clip-on sunglasses, which are a little annoying. I am doing some reading. Shocker. I'm doing a lot of reading this year. I've been talking a lot about books, and I don't want every single video that I make to be about books, which is part of what I want to talk about today, is just that's really all I'm doing. I am having a hermit year. It is literally, the Hermit is my tarot card for this year, and that is based on my birthday and the year in question. So my card for 2019 is the Hermit, and if you consider that as all of the calendar year, of course that has been a thing since January. If you also consider the version that is taking place on your birthday, then this Hermit energy hasn't even really fully set in yet until my birthday, which is still a month from now. So it's only going to get more hermity for the end of the year. So currently I am working on finishing up the Elements of Magic book that was edited by Jane Meredith and G'day Parma. I'm loving it so far. I'm not taking as many notes on it because I've taken an Elements class before, and I've taken some of the other core classes, and a lot of the things in this book are exercises that I have been taught through classes and workshops, so I'm not taking as many notes on it as I am reading an entire section and then writing a couple paragraphs of reflection about what I thought about it, and then a couple bullet points of if there were any activities or exercises mentioned that were really appealing to me or that really stood out as different, or things that I hadn't known or thought about before. So I'm doing a little bit of a different form of note-taking for this book just because of what it is. And I apologize to those of you who hate the shaky camera motion. I'm just sitting out here in the yard reading, and I remembered I wanted to make a video, so I don't have a tripod or anything set up. I'm holding it. But it's okay. This won't be a super long video because of that as well, because I'm holding it up and my arms hurt. Oh, squirrel! It's a little squirrel, go running. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I have finished reading a couple other books from that stack in that video that I talked about a while ago. So I just finished reading Dreaming the Dark by Starhawk the other day. That and The Fifth Sacred Thing were due back at the library. So it's actually a really good thing that I had already read The Fifth Sacred Thing, because I started reading it a few chapters at a time before bed when I was still having trouble falling asleep, which still happens to me on and off. I am still experiencing insomnia about half of the time now rather than most of the time. But over the past month or so, there were a lot of days where we would go to bed a little bit earlier because my partner has to get up early for work, but I wasn't really tired yet, so I would stay up for a couple more hours and read The Fifth Sacred Thing before bed, which works really well because it's fiction. So it's not something that I'm trying to read and learn or remember specific things. It's not something that I'm taking notes on. It's just something that I could sit and enjoy reading before bed. So I did finish that as well. So The Fifth Sacred Thing and Dreaming the Dark are finished, and they are back to the library. And I started Elements of Magic and Dreaming the Dark at the same time, but then I kind of stopped reading both of them because I was just busy doing other things around the house and in my life. And then I read the Big Blue book, which I've done a video about on here as well. So I got back into Dreaming the Dark and just focused on that because I realized how close I was to finishing it. And now I'm back on Elements. So I'm going to be finishing this one, starting Walking to Mercury, which is the prequel to The Fifth Sacred Thing, but was written afterwards. So it's one of those sequel prequel type things. It's a prequel chronologically for the story, but it was written later. So that's another fiction book, so I'll be reading that before bed. And then after this, I also took a little break to quickly read Weave the Liminal, which I already have a review video posted of because I did a review video of it right after I finished reading it before I had to give it back to the library. That video was supposed to be posted last month along with another video that I recorded last month. So I had 2 videos that were supposed to be posted at the end of last month. But there was something about each of them that was not right to me, and I didn't want to just upload it as is. I really wanted to be able to edit it out. So I've been playing around with some free video editors and things like that, and I tried editing my video for the Pagan Perspective collab last Tuesday, not this week, but the previous Tuesday. My video on ethics, I had done some editing with another editing software that is very similar to the one that I have used in the past that I love. So I thought it could really work. And there were a lot of problems with it. Really, what it's coming down to, I think, is just the fact that my mini laptop, because it's a mini laptop and not a full-size computer, is just limited in what it can handle. And it blew out my speakers trying to preview the edits, and I had to reconfigure the audio processing on the laptop, so I didn't have sound on it for a couple days until I figured it out. And it's just really jumpy and a lot of dropped frames while trying to preview the video. So I made the edits that I needed to make, but then I couldn't preview it to see if it looked okay before processing it or rendering it. So I had to render the video, which took about 6 hours. And it only took 6 hours because I rendered it at a lower video quality than normal. I was originally trying to render it at the normal size, and it would have taken more than 12 hours. And I was like, I don't have time for that. This video has to go up. So I rendered it at a lower quality, and it took about 6 hours. And then because the speakers had blown out on my computer, which I didn't know at the time, I thought that the video had saved without any audio, which has happened to me before. So I was like, okay, maybe that's what happened. So I didn't post the video on that Tuesday. The next morning, Wednesday, I checked the video on my phone and realized it did have sound and that it was my computer. So last week's video got posted Wednesday morning for me. But anyway, yeah, so my partner and I, as you know, have been saving up money from anything that gets donated during our Twitch streams, anything that gets donated directly through PayPal, and any readings that people are getting from me, tarot and oracle readings. Anything, as far as my readings, that is beyond what I need to pay my monthly bills, because this is how I pay my bills. Anything that is beyond that is going straight toward our tech fundraiser as well. So we've been raising money toward getting a new computer and other technologies that we need. That was the full sentence that I think I went on a little tangent there. So as you know, we've been doing that. We've been looking toward getting what we need so that I can start editing videos again in a way that works for me and allows me to do what I want to do with my content, and other things that will be really helpful for us, like a studio microphone, camera, things like that, so that not everything is from our phones. These phones are great, but again, there are limitations with what we can do with different types of technology. So it's getting to that point where it's been over a year since I've been able to edit videos. It's really grating on me, and it's just time. So we are looking to get what we need in August, and then whatever money we have raised, all of those people's names I am keeping on a list. I'm going to print it out. It is going to be hanging in our studio, and I'm going to post about it and thank everybody publicly, but it's also going to hang in our studio, whatever we consider our studio at the moment, as a nice thank you list of everyone who's contributed. But we really just have to go ahead and get it, knowing that most of it is still coming out of pocket, and this is what we've been saving up for. So it's necessary. And this past weekend, we had plans to go out of town, which was the only thing that we had made plans to spend money on because we're saving money for all this technology stuff. So we had to pick, basically, of all of the events that we could go to throughout the course of the year, that require money, right? So we had to say no to everything because we want to save that money, because we need to get new technology. So we picked one event, and it was this past weekend. And unfortunately, Murphy's Law, everything that could have gone wrong this weekend did. And we did not get to enjoy the nice kind of vacation weekend that we were hoping for. And in the process, I feel like the money that we spent on that was wasted. So I'm like, we could have just saved that couple hundreds of dollars toward the computer. Like, you know, but there was no way of knowing that it wasn't going to work out, and you have to pay for these things well in advance and pay for them well, or, you know, plan for them and get your tickets and everything way in advance for most types of events in the world, and I'm just not good at that. I'm not good at being able to plan that far in advance. I've tried. I've gotten a little better at it over the years with certain things. Like, I have a couple of things planned for later this year that I've known about for months and months, as far as like speaking engagements and classes and things like that. But yeah, so that's a thing that happened. And other than that sort of thing, like, I've been trying to get outside as much as I can on these nice days. We've had a lot of rain and storms here, which I think I mentioned in a video previously as well. But it's been pretty nice for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, basically since July started, it's been pretty nice. So I've been getting outside a little bit at a time, as much as I can, when it's comfortable, and doing a bunch of reading. And I just haven't really felt like spending a lot of extra time at the computer, partially because everything that I have to work on, technology is so frustrating. And of course now it's Mercury Retrograde, so technology issues may continue to happen. But we had technology and travel issues this past weekend, which was technically before the retrograde period began. But anyway, yeah, so I haven't really felt like being on the computer that much. I haven't really even felt like being on my phone that much. So I haven't been posting as much, recording as much. And yeah, so I kind of just wanted to come here and say that, let you know that I really just have been like a huge bookworm, and I've just been reading and cleaning my house. Like, that's mainly what I've been doing. I did recently teach a class locally that I will probably talk more about in a separate video. I think there's definitely plenty to say in its own video, so I won't talk about that here, except just now, like that, to mention it. That is a thing that happened. And yeah, I'm focusing more on like stuff in my local area, focusing more on trying to build community with people who are here. And that is, of course, not intended to leave any of you out because you're not here physically, because the internet is a fabulous thing in that it does allow us to connect with people who are not in our physical area, and that's such a great thing. But also, it's just like a different focus for me, and it's something different that I now have the ability and the opportunities to focus on in a different way. So I've been doing a little bit more of that, or trying to, at least. You know, it's really difficult getting people together in general, finding times that work for everyone, places that work for everyone. So trying to organize things, and sometimes they don't work out, and that's fine, but like trying to not let myself get down about it, and just remember, like, it's okay, it'll happen. You know, somebody has to build it. If you want it to exist, someone has to be willing to create it, and I'm trying to be that. So yeah, I hope you are all doing well. Let me know what you've been up to, if the weather's nice where you are, if you've been reading anything new, what have you been reading, playing any good games, stuff like that. And I will see you guys next time. You will be seeing those 2 videos that I mentioned that should have been posted last month, but only after I edit out a couple of things, or like try to trim them up a little bit, which, if all else fails, I will just use the YouTube Studio editor to do. It takes a little bit longer, but as long as I'm not doing it like on a Tuesday for my Tuesday pagan perspective video and it needs to be done that day, it's fine. I can use it and I can let it render for 6 to 10 hours. It doesn't matter if I'm not like on a time crunch. So, but you know me, I don't really plan far ahead. I'm like, I'm doing a video. I want to do it now and have it be up in a few hours. I want it to be in the moment, you know? So yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching or listening. Don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.